chippiness at half court between Ryan Howard and Caitlin Clark.
She's got time. Cloud defending. Clark trying to create some airspace. Long three at the horn. Oh!
Had Angel or anyone else done the exact same type of a foul to Caitlin, the storyline's different.
Last season, you came at me, took your shots, ran your mouths, you made it personal. This season, I'm not holding back. No mercy will be shown on the court.
Caitlin Clark didn't come into her second WNBA season looking for comfort. After a record-breaking rookie year that shook up the league, the spotlight on her only grew louder and more intense. Critics questioned if she truly belonged. Veterans, players tested her, and every move she made was analyzed under a harsh microscope. The early excitement was gone. If Caitlin wanted to stay on top, she'd have to earn it, both on and off the court. But instead of backing down, she did what she always does, showed up and competed harder than ever. This season isn't about settling in. It's about making a statement. Whether draining deep threes, driving through traffic, or battling for every loose ball, Caitlin came ready to prove herself. When Angel Reese tried to get into her head, Caitlin didn't react emotionally. She tightened her ponytail and played with even more intensity. This isn't a sophomore slump, it's a determined second act. Caitlin isn't here just to belong. She's here to lead, silence the critics, and prove she thrives under pressure. From the moment she stepped on the court, you could feel a shift. The cameras tracked her every move, waiting to see how she'd handle the spotlight. Most players would take time to settle after an off-season full of criticism. But Caitlin Clark isn't most players, and she's ready to fight for every inch.
From her catching around that 15-foot area, Clark connects the first logo bomb of the season.
That first shot of the season wasn't just 3 points. It was a statement. Caitlin Clark didn't ease in. She pulled up from deep and made it clear right away. She wasn't warming up. She was setting the tone. From the very first possession, she showed she hadn't lost a step. But if you think Caitlin's only about scoring, you haven't been paying close attention. After that opening three, she didn't force shots or chase highlights. Instead, she did what sets her apart. She read the game like a seasoned point guard. The defense, already on alert because of her shooting, gave her just enough space. Caitlin used that space, not to score, but to create. One quick move, a sharp look at the defense, and a perfect lob to her teammate in stride. It wasn't just a clever pass. It was a sign of total control. She doesn't just take shots. She breaks down defenses and makes them pay for every mistake. This wasn't about flashy plays. It was about leading with confidence and calm. Caitlin Clark wasn't just proving she could perform. She was lifting the entire team. When she mixes scoring with smart, precise passing, defenders don't just have a problem. They have no answers. By then, it was clear. Caitlin wasn't just playing well. She was in charge. You could see it in how her teammates moved, how she called the plays, and how the game flowed through her. She wasn't reacting to the defense. She was running the floor like a true leader.
These teams conditioning.
Maybe the broadcasters as well.
Scoring is one thing, but leading with presence is something else entirely. What Caitlin Clark was doing went far beyond just stats. She didn't even need to dribble to take control of the game. You could see it in the way she scanned the court, read the defense, and made adjustments before anyone else even realized what was happening. This wasn't just smart playmaking. Caitlin raises the entire team's game just by being on the floor, not because she demands attention, but because her teammates know they have to be sharper, faster, and more focused when she's running the show. She brings urgency to every play, direction to every pass, and focus to every move. With the game flowing to her rhythm, It was only a matter of time before she made the defense pay for getting too comfortable. That's when the defenders made their biggest mistake. They started guessing. And guessing against Caitlin Clark? That's how you find yourself out of position. She's already proven she can shoot and pass with the best. But what came next was different. It was all about timing, balance, and pure skill.
Ends up caroming to Hull. Here's Clark in transition. Clark, oh, what a look! And Hull lays it in!
One small hesitation, a quick head fake. That was all Caitlin needed. Her defender leaned just enough, and she saw it right away. She planted her foot, changed direction, and the lane opened exactly where she wanted it. It wasn't a flashy move made for highlight reels. And that's what made it stand out. It was smooth, smart, and showed how sharp her game really is. No extra dribbles, no wasted movement. Just space, balance, and a clean, confident shot. This wasn't a wild heat check. It was a shot taken in rhythm, at the perfect moment, with full control. By the time the ball swished through the net, her defender was still scrambling to recover. Now, with both her outside shot and mid-range game working, the defense had a serious problem. But Caitlin wasn't done making her point. As the seconds, quarter ticked down, the score remained tight, but the momentum was shifting. You could feel it in the arena. The crowd wasn't just watching anymore. They were waiting for that one moment that would turn a good half into something unforgettable. Caitlin had already been running the offense, creating space and hitting her shots. But what came next wasn't just skill, it was timing. And timing has always been one of her deadliest weapons.
And the way that makes her a threat from so many different places on the floor. Clark, little mid-range is good.
With the shot clock running out and defenders closing in, Caitlin Clark stepped back well beyond the arc. Without hesitation, she drilled a deep three right before halftime. It wasn't just a long-range shot. It was a momentum changer, a clear message to both teams as they headed to the locker room. No matter how tight the game, Caitlin can flip it in a single possession. It wasn't only about the distance. It was about the timing, the pressure, and the control. One perfectly executed shot, and the entire tone of the game shifted. Caitlin didn't just leave the court as the top scorer. She left as the player in full control of the moment. But the second half brought a new energy. The pace quickened. The game got more physical. And then came the moment everything boiled. Over midway through a heated sequence, Caitlin chased down Angel Reese on a drive and delivered a hard foul. This wasn't just contact, it was a statement. The referees called it a flagrant foul right away. The crowd erupted. Social media exploded. Just like that, one of the WNBA's biggest rivalries was alive and electric again. This time, Caitlin wasn't the one on the receiving end. She was the one making her point.
Screen set by Aaliyah Boston. That's a tough shot.
This wasn't reckless. It was controlled. Emotion. Fierce competition with a message behind it. After months of taking hits from veterans, fans, and the media, Caitlin Clark wasn't just taking the blows anymore. In her second season, she was starting to fight back. That foul said more than any press conference could. It was her way of saying, "I'm done playing the rookie. I'm not backing down. If you want to get physical, I'll meet you there." And the best part? She kept her cool. Just moments later, she was back in rhythm, pressuring the defense like only she can. If the foul grabbed headlines, her response reminded everyone why she's still the most dangerous player on the court. Other players might lose their focus in moments like that, force shots or get rattled, but not Caitlin. She turned that fire into fuel, and the very next possession proved it.
Caitlin Clark in the aftermath.
Everyone in the arena had to know this foul was coming. As soon as you saw Angel Reese wide open, you knew that Caitlin Clark was going to come in and take.
Coming off a strong screen, Caitlin Clark found open space. The defense was just a step too slow, and that was all she needed. With deep range and perfect form, She sank the shot and sent a clear message. While everyone else was still reacting to the flagrant foul, Caitlin had already moved forward. She wasn't stuck on what happened. She was busy creating what came next. There's a big difference between playing with emotion and playing with control. Caitlin showed exactly how to do both. This wasn't panic. It was calm confidence, the kind of poise that keeps the scoreboard moving and shifts momentum without a word. With the defense stretched out again, she went right back to work, adding a new element. Her shooting had opened the floor, and the tension from earlier was still there. But instead of slowing down, she changed gears. As defenders stepped up to block her deep shot, Caitlin showed she had more moves in her arsenal. On the next possession, she didn't rush. She kept her dribble alive, studied the defense, and waited for just the slightest mistake, a tiny lean, before making her move.
Special, what's different?
Yeah, just trying to play the right way. Just trying to impact winning the right way. I think over the last couple of years and having some experience losing, maybe want to...
Then a quick hesitation, a slight change of speed. Just like that, Caitlin's defender was off balance. She rose up smoothly, took the mid-range shot in stride, and sank it with ease. It looks simple, but the timing and skill behind it are anything but. This wasn't about flashy moves. It was a statement. Caitlin is a threat from everywhere on the court. When defenders close off her drive, she can stop on a dime and knock down that tough mid-range shot. And when the defense can't decide how to guard her, that's when Caitlin's passing really comes alive. By now, defenders were on their heels. They'd seen her knock down deep threes, felt the mid-range threat, and were chasing her off screens trying to force tough shots. But that's exactly what Caitlin wants. Overcommit to stopping her scoring. And you leave openings. Big ones. She doesn't just spot open teammates. She anticipates the defense's next move and finds angles most point guards miss until it's too late. As the defense closed in on her drive, Caitlin delivered a perfect pass right through two defenders to her teammate. Right on point, perfectly timed. This wasn't a simple or safe pass. It was a bold move made because she trusts her instincts, timing, and control. That's what makes her so hard to guard. You can try to stop one part of her game, maybe two, but Caitlin will always find a way to punish whatever you leave open. She scores when she wants, and when she wants to remind you she's also the team's leader, she sets up her teammates just as easily. Caitlin Clark isn't just running the offense, she's changing how it flows. The very next play showed it all, grabbing a rebound, pushing the pace, and setting the tone on both offense and defense. Scoring and passing get the spotlight, but games are won with hustle and hard work. In this game, Caitlin wasn't just lighting up the scoreboard. She was filling every stat sheet with effort and impact.
Here's Clark spinning, bouncing, what a find, and Howard lays